right, welcome back everyone to this channel and video. In this video, we'll be taking a look at leveling up. Now, the first thing we need to do to set this up is to create our variables and attributes. Now, essentially, we need two attributes for this. First is the attribute melee XP. This is going to keep track of our current XP, right? If you want just a general XP, that's totally fine. I'm going to do this as a melee XP. Now, the next one is attribute or entity here. Now, don't go ahead and add new here because the reason why is we're going to do it inside of the human player. Now, of course, you could do it inside of environments place and add it there and then add it here, but it's a little easier if we just add it here, right? So you can do that by simply add new variable. You can name it level, just like I did, melee level. And then you need melee XP here. Same thing, add new attribute. And here we just set it to 0, give it a name. And then I displayed the value. Now this is kind of important if you want to see it. I kind of do want to see it. So on the bottom right, when I hit play, we'll see melee XP, and that's it. Now, how do we get this to work? Because we have two numbers or two things that will help us with this leveling system. Now the XP has a max number built into it, right? Now the cool part about this is, well, it's kind of up to you on when you want to give XP. I'm doing it in the unit death. So here, when the pig dies, I have this line. That's it. It's super simple. It's just one line of code. I'm setting the player attribute value. The attribute value that we set is the melee XP of the owner of the last attacking unit as the melee XP. So the current XP of the last attacking unit again, plus 20. So essentially we're setting the melee XP. Here I can click into this. Melee XP is a constant of the owner of a unit of the last attacking unit, which is the player, right? Or most likely it would be the player killing the pig. And then here, we're going to get the, we're going to add, right? So technically here, if I can select all of this, here we go. We're just having, no, I can't select all of it, but it is an operation. It's just the melee XP of the owner of the last attacking unit, just as we did here, plus 20. So it's taking our current XP plus 20. And that's it. That will allow us to add 20 to our XP. And you can actually just hit play. And let's see if we can test this out on some pigs. You will see kind of an issue. Okay, so we had 20, or we have 40 now, but there is an issue, right? The issue is that at some point it's going to get full, but it's not going to do anything, right? And the reason is because we don't have a script to level up. Now, in order to do this, we need a level up script. Now, this one will trigger when a player's attribute becomes full. Now, this is not finished. We're going to finish this together. But right now, what we have is we're checking to see if the attribute that is full is melee XP, right? Because there's other attributes that the player has, like health or whatever, and we don't want to level up when I have full health. That doesn't make sense. Right? We only want to level up when our melee XP has reached its maximum XP, right? So in this case, whoops, we go to the attribute melee XP, you will see the max value is 100, right? So once it reaches 100, we want to do something. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reset it to 0, right? So let's reset this attribute to 0. And we want to actually level up. So how do we level up? Well, that's also easy. We can actually just, no, we don't want to copy paste this. We will add new action here. But we're going to set variable. We're going to set player variable. The variable we're going to set is the melee level. We only have one actually because we have only made one in this game of the last triggering player as, now this one I want you to try. So what are we going to set it to? Well, we're going to set it to, here we go. Let's go into here as the owner of, oh, sorry, we're going to leave the operation actually. So calculate operation. We're going to say op1 here. Here, we're going to get the range level, or sorry, the actual level of the current melee level, right? How do we do that? Well, what we need to do is simply go to manual variable. We'll go to functions and say player variable. We can say player variable. Here we'll get the melee level of the last triggering player once again. And then here in the operation here, we'll add 1, and that's it. So we've added 1 level. And this technically could work. But one extra thing maybe we can add is to set to the max attribute of the melee XP, right? Because we want to increase how much we need eventually, right? So, okay, let's go to, let's copy the set, this one, set attribute. Actually, I lied. We're just going to do it from scratch because we want to do max attribute. We're going to set the player attribute max value. So the attribute value that we're setting is the attribute type. Sorry, here we're just going to do melee XP. We're going to set the player attribute melee XP of the last triggering player as, now the number, this is going to be a little awkward in a sense, but what we're going to do here is we're going to do a, actually, nah, we'll just do a simple one. We'll do plus 20, so we'll increase it by 20 every level. So here we have plus 20, but we want to get the current XP. So we do that by going to functions, and we can say player attribute. So we will get the melee XP of the last triggering player, hit OK, and here we go. Now, the important part here, though, is that we set this first because this is taking the melee XP currently, which would be 100. Now, you do want to make sure, or what you could do also is you could, instead of saying melee XP, we could get melee level if you want to scale it on the level, or if you want to scale it on the max, you could say the max value or the max attribute. It's up to you. But that's it. So here we go. So now we're setting the max value. We're setting it back to 0, and then we're leveling up our melee level. Now let's hit save. But one other thing we can do, go over here and go into here. Okay, so we don't have a display value. So what we can do is we can add a create float. We're going to create float text on unit, and we will say string converted from number, and the number we're going to convert is the attribute, actually variable, sorry, player variable melee level of the last triggering player. So we're going to print the level on this, not this unit because we're in the world, so that doesn't make sense. We'll say last, we'll say player last triggering entity. Suppose we can do that with color red and hit OK. And there we go. All right, so I need one more kill here. Let me just get one more kill. And here we go. Now we see that it reset. Now we did have a problem with the floating text. It didn't pop up right away, or it just didn't pop up at all. And that's okay. It does work. You can see that the melee XP reset. So however you want to display your level, that's up to you. Maybe we'll make another video on how to display variable numbers in another video. So definitely subscribe and hit the like and comment down below and comment what you guys would like to see next.